growing up, I had the privilege and the blessing to have a family that taught me about giving and tithing. That was important. And I remember going in every week and pulling out my tithe money out of the drawer, and it was something that I knew that was important, that God really challenged us to do.
My family was the same. We knew that you always tithed, and maybe in my family a little bit more for adults, but the kids, we learned to do that too and know it was what we wanted to do.
So when, even before we got married and once we started dating, we talked about those things and spiritual things, obviously, and financial things, and that was a big issue for us to include that in our life together as a married couple, as well as to give and be generous, whether it's in our money or our time, or as well as our talents.
It was very important to me that Lee took that spiritual leadership for our family, and we've continued to do it from the beginning, and it's been a blessing.
But there was a time when we decided to open our own business, and so that meant that we had to generate our own income, and so there was a time when things were okay. Things we made money, and there were times when we didn't make a lot of money, and it was difficult, but it was something that we had decided and practiced and knew that even during those tough times that we were going to tithe. Even tithed the money that came into the business, as well as personally tithing on the income that I had. And there were months, we would look there together and go, I don't know how this is going to work, but somehow God did it. And God's economy is awesome.
And it was scary at times. There were some tears thinking, how is this going to work? We wanted to be good stewards and obviously we had 2 children at the time, and provide. But I was so thankful that Lee knew that that's something that he wanted to do, and we knew we couldn't outgive God. So even though it was scary at times and challenging, we knew ultimately that God would make it work, and he did. And we can't really explain it all, but he made it happen.
I completely understand somebody being skeptical or questioning, how is this going to work? And my response to them is, I don't know how it works, but God does. And every single time, that 90% that you have left at the beginning of the month, because you get tithe at the beginning, not what's left over, but that 90% covers 100% of the bills that you have. And I don't know how. But like I said, God's economy is different than ours. His ways are higher and better than our ways. Like Jennifer said, it may not be a return of money. You don't give money and all of a sudden go to the mailbox and get a check. But there are blessings. God blesses us for our faithfulness and for our generosity.
And even if it's challenging, find somebody that you can be accountable to and say, please pray for me. This is hard for me, but I feel like I need to step out in faith and do it. And even if you start small and build up, you can trust God to go 10%, but start somewhere. Don't keep putting it off, because you'll never have that perfect amount of money to think, I can do this now. You just go ahead and do it. And ask somebody to pray for you, because we're all in this together. We all struggle with this. There's a reason that Jesus mentions the money so many times in the Bible, because it's a struggle. So you can trust God, and his economy is always greater than ours.